Good evening. Let's get the latest now on those protests today in Atteridgeville near Pretoria. Patricia Visagie, our reporter, she spent much of the day there. Patricia, evening to you once again. What kind of protests have you seen there today? What were demonstrators doing?
Good evening. I think the highlight is really the fact that Atteridgeville residents woke up to a shock this morning from around 4 o'clock in the morning. Residents took to various exits and entrances to the township. They made sure that no vehicles moved in or out of the township. So that caused a lot of disruptions with, of course, the roads being barricaded and the burning of tires and rocks in the streets. And of course, as the residents were just throwing out the dustbins and so forth in a bit to, just bring their point across. 3 people were arrested, Stephen, as of course they were trying to get answers to what they call the unfair high electricity bills that they feel they just cannot afford. And the majority of the people that we saw taking part in that particular protest action were actually the elders in the township. A lot of pensioners saying that they don't have much money. A lot of them saying that they're depending on the state grant, which we know is about 1,780, and they just cannot afford. And they hope the city can meet them halfway and actually find a way to address the issue. And they're saying the issue is very simple. It is the illegal connections that they claim come from the informal settlements and some of the hostels in the area, and they hope a solution can be found to address this particular issue. Stephen?
So, Patricia, what they're essentially saying, if I understand it correctly, is that they're paying too much for electricity and the people living next door to them, they believe, aren't paying anything. How do they think that government should go about making that change? What exactly are they expecting to happen?
Well, they're saying it's unfair. They feel that everybody should be treated equally. If you use some of these services, then you should be paying. And they feel that they're actually now being punished, and they say they're paying for other people's electricity and water consumption, which they believe is not fair. And some of them saying that, people who live in the hostels, their services are never interrupted or cut off, even if they don't pay. But if you live in a normal house and you, for instance, skip a couple of payments, then your water and your electricity is cut off, whatever the reason may be. So they feel everybody should be treated equally. And they, as I said, feel very strongly that if the city can actually address the issue of illegal connections, then half of the problem would be solved. But of course, it is a whole lot of other issues as well. There's the issue of RDP houses that they're also crying about, saying that there's a lot of people who they believe do not benefit to actually get the RDP houses, but they've been given. So they want the city to also look into that particular matter. But I think their immediate priority remains the high water and electricity bills that they say have caused major mayhem for them. Some saying that they've gone for months without electricity because they simply cannot afford. Some saying that they're unemployed, they've lost their jobs, they've been retrenched, and of course the issue of pensioners. So a great deal of issues that come to the fore linking to people not being able to afford their utility bills. Stephen?
Patricia Visagie, thank you very much indeed, in our studio there in Pretoria, reporting on the Atteridgeville protests.